How to use your carrier remote control to save energy and electricity, and the difference between inverter and non-inverter air conditioner. An inverter aircon has several electricity-saving features installed. This is what I'll show you in this video. Energy-saving modes means lower power usage equals lower electricity consumption. Its advantage is lower power. It also means it's slower to cool. To start, let's make sure that our aircon starts on a clean slate by resetting all previous possible programs and error it has, at least software side. We will do this using the remote control and with the aircon circuit panel itself. Using the remote control, let's check its program history by pressing air swing 8 to 9 times. If there's any symbol appearing, it means there's a program left from the last setting. Let's reset or reprogram by pressing louver 8 to 9 times till it becomes 0. This resets and removes all previous programs of the aircon unit. Then, using the circuit panel itself, when you plug your AC, if something like this comes out, LA-DA, take your remote control out of range from the aircon circuit. Switch the remote control off. Then long press the buttons Mode and Echo until AS appears. Press fan speed, then arrow up until you see RE. And point to your aircon circuit board and press sleep mode. The circuit board values will move like this. Unplug, then after 1 minute, plug back. This should now show RADA. Let's go first to the aircon circuit board. Under mode, there are 3 settings: fan, cool, and dry. For fan, this means the fan motor will be on and the compressor off. This function is like an electric fan. For cool, the fan motor is on and the compression is on. Here you can change the mode of fan from 1 to 3. I'll show this to you in the next part. For dry, the fan motor is on low and the compressor is on. Its purpose is to dehumidify. It removes water vapor from air and lessens sticky feel on the skin. If you want to make the most use of saving electricity, set your thermostat between 24 to 26 and your fan under 1 for low or 2 for medium. Here are 3 fan settings: F1 low, F2 middle, F3 high. Lower fan settings means lower ampere consumption, lower energy, lower electricity generation. Let me show you with an AC clamp meter. Now let's go to our remote control for some economy tips. Echo. This limits the compressor power when it accelerates. It will not go on turbo but using a slower mode only. Also, after the desired temperature is met, the unit will switch off. Cycle. This switches your AC on and off automatically after every 30 minutes alternately. Sleep. Press this if you want your AC to add 1 degree after every hour until the 2nd hour. This lessens the cold temperature while you are asleep. When this feature is activated, SL is shown, but the change of temperature will not be seen on the LED screen. Timer. Use this if you want your AC to switch on and off automatically at specific times. To do this, let's set the clock right by using a pin. Poke the hole gently. When the timer is blinking, it can now be changed. Adjust the hour with arrow up. Adjust the minutes with arrow down. When done, poke the clock hole with a pin again. Poke gently only so it doesn't get damaged. Now you are ready to set your timer in the same way. Click the on timer and set the time you want it to auto switch on. Set the time as taught. Click the off timer and set the time you want it to auto switch off. Set the time the same way. Set this while pointing at your AC. Once it's successfully set, you will see a dot after the temperature on the circuit board of the AC. To switch off timers, press timers on and timers off for it to disappear and becomes not visible on the remote. Do this while pointing at your AC. Run our timer. This is when you want to budget your use, like 240 hours for a month based on an 8-hour use per day. All these features can only be used one at a time. To remove your program setting, just do resetting actions shared at the beginning of this video. Another feature is the energy savings plug that comes with your AC. It's for you to connect your fan to automatically switch on when the AC is off. Feel free to review the manual for the complete features of your air conditioner and its remote control. As a supplemental information, let's see if the inverter aircon consumes electricity even when it's off. Plugging a unit in the workshop, it shows that it's consuming electricity at 0.11. Let's compare to a non-inverter aircon. A non-inverter AC shows that it's not consuming electricity when it's off and plugged. What is the equivalent of a 0.11 ampere electricity? Switching on a box fan, it reads 0.1. That's what our inverter aircon is consuming when it's off and stays plugged. As last part of this video, here is showing the simple difference between an inverter aircon and non-inverter aircon.
This is a non-inverter type aircon. And when I turn it on, and it goes like this until it senses that the room is at a certain temperature. And when the room reaches the right temperature, it just stops. That's it. But eventually the room starts to warm up, and then and this is an inverter type aircon. And when I turn it on, kasing lakas pa rin. But when it reaches the right temperature, it doesn't stop. Steady lang siya. Inaalagaan ka lang niya. So, nakikita natin saan ba dun ang mas nahihirapan ka or costs more energy.
Feel free to check the description for information of where you can purchase your own inverter aircon.